Call this meeting to order. Please present the flag.
You gotta face them, Frank. Now face. And salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Left face. Forward march. We'll be in the back now. Wait for them. Take me.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mayor Thomas.
Here.
Mrs. Passio. Here. Mr. Jerry.
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Root.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Here. Mr. Farrell.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Bayshore.
Here.
Mr. Dioria.
Here.
And Mr. Rosa.
Okay. Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act is given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board, the Borough Clerk's office, on January 3rd, 2018, and two, emailed to the retrospect and courier post on January 3rd, 2018. Are we going to do one thing before? Sammy, do you want us to do it now? You want us to wait a few minutes?
We'll give them 10 minutes.
Well, give 10 minutes, we'll start the meeting. Okay, the first order of business is the approval of minutes. Motion is in order for the approval of minutes of the March 27th and April 3rd meetings submitted by the clerk, as each member has received copies of the same.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, report.
I have the report, just hold on a second, of the tax collector for the month of April, a total of $2,957,781.03 is collected in taxes, and sewer rentals, $46,561.33. For the report of the police chief for the month of April, a total of $139.12 was collected for accident discovery, solicitor reports, firearm permits. All monies returned over to the treasurer. For the report of the fire chief for the month of April, a total of $8,082.23 was collected in fire fees. There were 61 total inspections completed. There were 127 EMS incidents and 38 fire incidents. One type 1 permit was issued, and April EMS fees collected $19,988.05. All monies returned over to the treasurer. For the report of the borough clerk for the month of April, a total of $1,929.80 was collected for permits and licenses, including pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. For the report of the registrar of statistics for the month of April, a total of $3,450 was collected for death copies, marriage copies, and 5 marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. That's all that I have in these reports.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the reports as read?
I'll make a motion to accept the reports as read.
A motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Farrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have a public hearing. This is ordinance 18-06. It's an ordinance to amend the chapter regarding nuisances to go to the Borough of Runnemede to balloon deployment. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public?
I so move. I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there any other discussion with this? Is there a motion then?
I'll make a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Passio. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Okay, we'll go to committee reports. Finance, Mr. Ranieri.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you. In finance, it is a big day today. I'm going to get right into it. First, I would like to thank our CFO, Jim Dioria, our treasurer, Greg Anderson, and all those involved in finance for all the hard work and the extra hours that you've invested in order to deliver our budget for tonight's introduction. Great job, and thank you. Also, tonight we are introducing a bond ordinance which includes various capital purchases and projects that our CFO, mayor, and council have put together that will be moving our town forward this year and for many years to come. Mayor and council can elaborate on each department as we go down the line. Also, with the introduction of our 2018 budget tonight, I am very proud to announce that mayor and council were able to keep our taxes very stable and level with a small increase that amounts to about $25 per household, which is fantastic. Congratulations, everybody. And I wanted to thank Mayor and Council again and all the borough employees for making all this progress possible, and the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Public safety, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, during April, we had a distracted driving campaign, and we got a grant to allow for the overtime to do that. The grant was applied for by Captain Geigelman on March 29th, and we received $6,600 for the grant. It's a federally funded grant through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Our officers worked 2 4-hour shifts each day, specifically targeting distracted drivers. The total number of traffic summonses and the amount paid to the officers was 237 summonses were issued. 103 of those summonses were issued for distracted driving, cell phone use, that kind of thing. We did get 1 drug arrest also. So our overtime amounted to the amount of the grant. We paid out our officers $6,600, and that was the result. It was very, very fruitful. The amount of calls for service this month, 1,006. Traffic summonses, 472. Motor vehicle crashes, 15. We had 144 arrests and 44 hours of overtime. There was 1 Narcan deployment. Continuing with my fire department. Okay. Fire company is going to have their spring festival on Sunday, June 3rd from 10 to 3 at the firehouse on East 2nd Street, and they're inviting everyone to come. Again, Sunday, June 3rd from 10 to 3. The Runnemede car show, and every year they have a wonderful antique show. It's just a fabulous event. Will be Saturday, June 2nd from 12 to 4. And it's sponsored again by the Runnemede Fire Company. Registration is $10, and if you come that day with a car, it's $15. And they award prizes, and they have wonderful refreshments. It's a great, great day. To continue on, we had a total fire and EMS fees collected for the year to date, $113,156.19. And this is right on target with our wonderful last year. We had an incredible last year in fees and EMS. So it's right on target to continue on. Also, I attended the Camden County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund breakfast, and we were awarded 2 certificates of achievement for having 0 lost time injuries for the year 2017. No lost time injuries. That's quite amazing. Our second award was for reducing the number of lost time accidents in 2017 by 15% or more over the average for the fund years of 2014, 2015, and 2016. And again, that was an amazing award. Both awards gave us $1,500 in cash, and that was given to our CFO. And I think that you're going to be working with the Public Safety Committee on how that's going to be dispersed and which departments will be benefiting by that. I do want to continue on with this report. I hate to belabor everybody, but it's kind of important. Okay, you know that we're going to be looking to purchase a new squad. Our squad is 20 years old. It's difficult to get parts for it. It's costing quite a bit just to maintain it. It's our utility apparatus, and we do need a squad. So our men are going to Pierce in Wisconsin to review the specs. They have visited there once. They'll probably be going there again. And that committee is right on target so that by 2019, we'll be funding it and probably purchasing it by 2019. So that's part of the capital investment that we have going. Okay. The month of April was busy. We were called out for 4 cardiac arrest incidents and 4 additional respiratory arrests called for service. So the firefighters worked with our EMS staff on all of these incidents. The department responded to over an additional 150 calls this month. So you can see how important it is to keep our equipment up to date and to give our men everything they need to do their job, because it's for the protection and the safety of all our residents in this town. So that's my report.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry to be so long.
That's a lot of stuff. Public events, Ms. Patsy.
Thank you, everyone. Youth Mayor and Council will begin on May 12th through May 19th, which will end on the 19th with some awards and then dinner at the Philly Diner. Monday, May 28th will be our Memorial Day services. It will be rain or shine, and it will be at 12 noon, so I'm hoping that the town will attend. And Sammy, we got to get together so we can discuss it. Also, our wonderful newsletter will be in the mail this week, so look for your newsletter. And if you didn't get your newsletter within a week or so, we will have them here up at the Borough. And you can also call me and let me know. It is 16 pages full of information, full of what we've done for the last year and what's to come. So John and I tried to put everything that we could into this 16 pages, and believe me, there's a whole lot more that we could not fit in there. And I also want to tell everyone that we do have a Facebook page. The Borough does have a Facebook page. So if you would, like any kind of information, you can look at our Borough Facebook page and get the correct information from our Facebook page. We also have a website. So all that information is in here, and I hope you take your time to read it. Read the message from the mayor. It is a wonderful message. Every one of our departments have given you a message. So please take the time to read it, and please look at what we've been doing. With that, I say progress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, it was a lot of hours.
Great job.
A lot of fighting.
Yes. Engineering, Mr. Fowler.
Thank you, Mayor. Not much going on right now. borough's moving along great. They're done sheetrocking. I was there for stock one, and the elevator's almost in. So we're getting close. We'll arrest progress.
Okay, thank you.
How's it on the elevator? Well, I looked at the shaft, that everything's, all the mechanical's there. So we just have to close it in.
We get the hit of champagne?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Engineer, give us an update. Greg? Okay.
Definitely ribbon cutting.
Anything
No,
else?
that's it.
Mayor's going on it first.
All right, yeah, thanks.
Oh, one thing.
Oh,
How did you make out with the sign, those two things?
I think you mentioned the sign. Electronic sign?
I think that Harry put the sensor on there, but I think there was still an issue with the
There still was an
manufacturer.
issue.
So I think
They
Joyce
might
is
have
still
to
working.
go down to-
Okay.
The manufacturer might have to come down. Public Works, Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In case you haven't heard, I know you probably did, but it is National Public Works Week. So we're doing a proclamation for that tonight, so nobody leave. It's going to be, it's an exciting time at Public Works. So, ripping. But everything's been moving smooth, and now we get some good weather, catching up on some, leaves. The guys are constantly out picking stuff up. There's a lot of trees down still, but they've been going around, and obviously with the recycling on Thursdays, but everything's been moving smooth. If you noticed, I probably steal Greg's thunder, the fountains in the lake. We still may have problems with it clogging. We actually are contracting the company to come out to clean with an amphibious machine, which will go out and clean up a lot of the debris that is getting stuck in the fountain. So hopefully once that's done, we shouldn't have any problems with the fountain.
And you've been saying that, for a while now, that, that there's possible problems with the fountain.
Yeah, it's, and we had some options of putting a screen on the bottom, but it's not that deep. Our lake is not that deep, which is the main reason why it clogs, because it isn't that deep. It's pulling, a lot of stuff flows on the bottom, and because it's so shallow, it's pulling it up from the bottom, clogging the fountain. So the only way to try to really grip it is clean up and try to keep everything out of the fountain.
And it's be positive for the lake, cleaning the lake.
Oh,
not
it's
just the
going to,
fountain,
yeah, it's going to look
clean
thing
all-
down. I was down there the other day. It's in need of cleaning.
It hasn't been cleaned. When was the last time it was cleaned?
Never. So, we're going forward with the lake, and eventually we want it to be, a place to go, a place for kids to go fish,
Like it was.
walk around. We're looking into some paths, but it's getting there.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that is
And
good.
the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Parks and Recreation, Mr. Watson.
Well, Mike stole my fountain. Don't worry about that. Yeah, the fountain is in. We've gotten some nice comments on the Facebook page about it, and some nice comments about it being clogged already. But you have the people that have to be condescending about it. So that's all right. It's their opinions. But we're attacking the situation to get it to be much better. Softball and baseball and the ROI, everything's progressing there. They're in full swing now. It's actually nice weather.
It stopped raining for a week.
Stop raining, yes. As you know, I'm a sports official. And I have not had any games canceled in the last 2 weeks. That's good for the kids and the officials all, everyone involved. So, and the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Keep going.
Tim?
Mr. Beck?
I call Tim Salman will come up and,
Okay. We're
Salman.
going to skip a little bit, and then we're going to get right to our proclamation. All right. Need you out here.
What by the mic?
Come on up, help me out. So as those of you who were there the other night at the town hall meeting, I think it was a great honor that the congressman and the freeholders did a great job recognizing Tom. And so the borough felt that it was also something important that we needed to do. Just to be clear, they had reached out to us, and they always ask us, who's an important person in our community, who should we be recognizing? So obviously, the gentlemen in this room are the ones we are always appreciative of, and you see that also in the congressman and the freeholders. So this is not quite the flag that was flown over the Capitol. That was a wonderful touch. But let me read this from all of us. From the Office of the Mayor, proclamation honoring Thomason McPherson Jr. Whereas he attended Bingham Elementary School, Mary Volz Middle School, and is a 1986 graduate of Triton Regional High School. Whereas he studied audio-visual production, computers and editing at Camden County Institute. And whereas he was a former specialist E-4 United States Army, former 63B mechanics at New Jersey Army National Guard, serving in Iraq from 2008 and 2009, Operation Iraqi Freedom. And whereas Thomas is married and the father of 4 boys. And whereas he is a general officer and quartermaster for the Runnemede VFW, Post 3324, and a trustee. And whereas he is the Runnemede Scoutmaster Assistant for Troop 117. And whereas he is the photographer and webmaster for both the VFW and the Runnemede Scouts, and photographer for the Warrior Watch Riders. Whereas he is also a member and rides with the Warrior Watch Riders, who honor our first responders and veterans. Now, therefore, I, Nick Kapadas, Mayor of the Borough of Runnemede, do hereby proclaim sincere appreciation for all that Mr. McPherson has contributed to our community and his commitment to our armed forces members. Thank you. Thank you for accepting this. Please come and thank you guys for coming out as always. You honor us coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Todd, I'll call.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
You guys are staying for National Public Work?
Public Works first, we have a crowd. Come on, Mr. Mozo, come on up. How about Mr. Root? This is your meeting. Where's all your guys?
They're tired from doing
They're
yard
tired
waste
from
today.
doing yard waste. There's a lot of yard waste. A lot of trees, huh? The chipper? We're getting our money's worth with that chipper, if you guys
Oh,
have seen it out.
wonderful.
I mean, do we have any way to gauge how much chippings? Is that weight or yardage?
Yardage.
Do we have any clue? I mean, because that goes to a different facility, doesn't it?
Yes.
And we've been chipping a lot. Okay, so here we go. From the Office of Mayor, proclamation. Wrong one. National Public Works Week 2018. Whereas Public Works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of New Jersey. Whereas this infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of Public Works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees from state and local governments and in the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the state of New Jersey to gain knowledge and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated the annual National Public Works Week since 1960. I think this is the first time in the borough.
Yes.
Resolved, I, Nick Kapadas, Mayor of the Borough of Runnemede, do hereby designate the week, May 21st, 21st to 27th, 2018 as National Public Works Week. I urge all of our people to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. And witness herein, I put my hand to cause the sale of the Borough of Runnemede in the state of New Jersey. I don't know. That was what was on it. So I do want to say, I want to congratulate the Public Works Department. I want to say that myself and council will be, and council doesn't know this yet, paying for lunch for the Public Works employees on Friday. So please use one of the businesses in town, Marino's, or wherever you guys like. We'll buy the pizza, take it out of our flower fund. You got that? And we will.
Seems crazy.
It's not the flower.
That wasn't in the budget.
I'm an integral part of Public Works.
Feel free to go down there, and the engineers invited also. Lawyers are not allowed. But so please tell the guys that we appreciate what they've done and how hard they've been working. And your department, you've really made a big difference in our municipality.
It's been a team effort.
I think everyone on the council and myself realizes that this Public Works department, you had the existing guys, you were able to turn them, I wouldn't say turn them around, but you gave them focus and allowed them to realize that if they do a good job, that's going to be appreciated. And people see it in the community, absolutely see it. There's a lot that we've done. And I hope they all like their jobs.
They do.
And that's great. So congratulations, thank you. Please help them. Director. Doctor.
What are the dates? How long are
21st to the 22nd. So on that week,
Yes.
so let them guys know that on the 27th, we'll buy the lunch.
No, this week is municipal clerks week.
Yeah, we didn't have a proclamation.
This is municipal clerks week.
Congratulations.
Joyce,
Congratulations.
Joyce, could you write a proclamation?
They actually have one, I just never read it.
Well, you should.
I'll file an Oprah request.
You'll file it. We'll file a request this week in honor of all right, we'll get back to the agenda. Okay. Administrator's report. You've got the floor is yours, sir. Please enlighten us.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As far as the administrator's report, I think the biggest thing is the budget introduction. So I think I'll focus on that. There are many things going on positive in the borough. And I think some of the budget, some of the things that I have to say about our budget this year will show that. So I am pleased to introduce the 2018 municipal budget for the Borough of Runnemede balanced budget. This year, we used less surplus in order to balance the budget. And at the same time, we were able to afford, like John said, the average household raise per year for the average household is less than $25. So we're pretty proud of that. And and we did that while focusing on, we tried to achieve taking the funds in the borough and investing them into something positive that's going to show investment into the borough. Our tax increase was less than the 2% mandated by the state. We came in at 1.22% increase. And some of the things that we planned on, the capital plan, which we have in the budget this year, is taking our funds and we're investing into our departments. We are improving buildings and grounds, public works, as Councilwoman Kelly was talking about. We're purchasing a fire truck to help with our emergency services. We're also investing in various roads in the borough, in addition to sidewalks and curbing, and different things that are necessary not only for aesthetic appeal, but for the health, safety, and welfare of our residents. And we're taking care of all that in our bond ordinance this year. One of the other things that we're trying to do here is increase revenues. As you know, increasing revenues will put less of a burden on the taxpayer and the tax rate. So what we focused on, I know in the 5 months that I've been here, one of the things that we're trying to do is improve our grant rate and getting more grants, state, federal, local grants. And what that does is the revenue provides the borough with additional community service as well as subsidizing operating expenses that we have with the borough. And it lowers the tax burden So this year in 2018, one of the things, not only with the police department being more aggressive in their grants to offer more services to subsidize costs, but I'm planning on being more aggressive in our open space, our green acres. There are, and Harry's helping me with this, and I just want to say that all the department heads in the borough helped prepare this budget. It was definitely a team effort and long hours in an office, banging numbers around, and then taking their time to spend with me to put this budget together and to educate me on the process and what goes on in the township. So it was, I offer much thanks to that, and patience of council. I appreciate that too. What's that?
I said some patience.
And some patience, that's all right. Some examples of the things that we're doing for the town in each of the departments that we're trying to improve. Administration-wise, we are investing in a time and attendance software where we have this new building, a new addition, and we're becoming more technologically advanced. We're increasing our Wi-Fi, we're increasing our computer-managed IT service. That's very important in today's environment, to be technologically available for not only for us reaching out to other people, for people to reach out to us. Like Councilwoman Passio was saying that we have Facebook, we have a website, our time and attendance software is going to be based upon technology, so we need to be on the forefront of that. And this budget helps us to get there. Mayor and council, the newsletter, excellent job. I had the opportunity to look through it and you did a great job. It's great. Even to be a part of it this year. I got the back page, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of
Pretty
that.
good.
I guess that's all right, considering that.
Prime real estate.
In the clerk's office, we made a commitment to buy some more additional equipment. One of the things that is happening nowadays, people are counterfeiting bills. And the clerk brought to our attention that there was equipment out there that we could purchase that would help us negate that, and at the same time increase our efficiency as far as counting currency. During tax time, a lot of people, believe it or not, still pay with cash. And it's very,
What?
a lot of people pay with cash. Not-
Cash.
Cash, not check.
A lot of cash.
A lot of cash.
A lot of cash.
Right.
Yeah?
Oh, we don't want to talk about that. So it's important to safeguard our assets. Tax collector and finance department, we have a new tax collector, and she's also handling benefits and payroll, and it's helping streamline the process, make it more efficient. She's going to be integral in the department. Construction code enforcement, we're also investing in iPads to go paperless and to be more streamlined, and to be the information that the code officials are out there getting is going to go right into the office, so that people can get their COs and anything, the permits, any information, real time, and there will be no waiting. Police department and fire and emergency medical services, we are enhancing our staff. We're in the budget, we have an opportunity to hire 2 people in the fire department and in the police department to help with protection and security of our town and our citizens. We were able to, I think Councilwoman Kelly was talking about the fire trucks and the maintenance. We just did some maintenance to one of the major fire trucks, and we were able to do that. And it is very important that they run.
Yeah. And be operational when they're needed. They can't be sitting
Right.
because they don't have the equipment to go, you know, and they don't have that.
And as we get new vehicles, which are in the bond ordinance, police, public works, fire, the maintenance costs will drop dramatically. So it's an investment on the front that investment will pay off in years and years and years to come. The roads department, we have a traffic study in the budget to help with the light. I think it's on Clements Bridge Road.
Is that the right one?
Is it Clements Bridge and East? And I think Clements Bridge is more
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So both of those roads, and we were investing in that. We want
Yeah,
our drivers
it
to be
is.
safe.
When was that?
Well, this is just the bond, excuse the budget, we have to approve the budget at the next meeting.
Then the
and
money's
then-
available.
These are the highlights of what's in the budget. And the
Mark will be running up there, the next point.
We also have in the budget for roads department, stormwater repairs. One of the things that we're hoping to do in future bonding would be to take a look at all our stormwater infrastructure, which is very old. And so we needed to invest some money in the budget in those repairs until we can go and attack things with help of the engineer on a consistent basis, year in and year out.
Well,
Also, the road department.
if you consider studying which ones, like when we did the slip line, we knew exactly what ones we wanted to do. Do you have that for the stormwater too?
Well, in our bond ordinance, we are paying to get all of our, is that correct? That's in the bond ordinance, the stormwater mapping.
Yes.
Is that
Yes,
correct?
we are.
Stormwater or sewer first?
I think it's
Simultaneous.
both. Right, we do have that. So we will be able to identify and come up with a plan to attack.
Good, good, good.
But in the meantime, we need to have funds available for emergency services. Also, in the roads department, we are hoping to hire 2 new full-time people to help with the labor and be more efficient to the residents in the area. Everything from snow removal to leaf removal to tree removal to cutting grass, all the maintenance. And for buildings and grounds, we funded the lake cleaning and the maintenance. I think this is the most funding that we've been able to give to the lake in a while.
That's wonderful.
Did we get any grants for doing that? Are you gonna apply for grants for that?
We're going to look into the
The county loves
open
that.
space.
I've talked to the people at the county and they say, you've got to apply for these grants because we love this lake, we want to see it improved.
We are.
The money's there.
We are.
We just gotta get it.
We are going to get it.
All right.
Absolutely.
If I may interject something while we're talking about the lake. It's been mentioned before, like a trail down to maybe a floating dock. Are we considering that, something like that?
Well, I think the first thing is cleaning, it started with the lake, if everyone recalls, we had a problem with the lake where there was no oxygen, and the fish died, and then we had algae. I think we've kind of got that mitigated at
Well,
this
we
point.
have the aerator.
The aerators made that difference, and now I think the cleaning of the lake is the next step. And then I agree with you, some kind of plan of what we're gonna do around the whole property. But even just getting access down there, we're halfway there, we just say more than halfway there. Just leaning that path up to get down there.
There are grants available for trails throughout the borough in green acres, open space areas. I think Anjec has a grant for trails. There is definitely things. And I'm planning on this year to meet with other people from other municipalities, seeing how they handle their open space, how they handle the green acres. Obviously, we don't have such a large area of that in this borough, but the philosophies are still the same. The need is still the same. It might be on a lower level, but we can still have it with funding available.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just, one more thing. Mary Youth and Council, a lot of the essays, a lot of the kids are asking for a safe place to fish
Yep.
in town. This is not safe where they're at, how they all
It's,
decide.
Well, people remember what the lake used to be like, and obviously
Yes,
we need
they
to try to get back to it, but it's, we've lost a lot of the, because it hasn't been maintained for 25 years, it's hard to start quickly.
It's a good start.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear about it often from my wife. There used to be a pavilion there. There used to be swimming.
Well, I think the first start was to get that path back, to get down there.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was even a public safety issue between the police department and fire to get down there, but then, we hopefully we'll get down there and start cleaning it up.
Yep, that's what we're planning on.
Thank you.
One of the new additions to the budget is the senior luncheon events. They seem to be going over well, and we were able to fit into the budget some money for the seniors, some extra money. Councilwoman Passio had to compromise a little bit for the summertime.
I did come.
But I think we're still
I
gonna
don't
have,
think they need this summer.
we are gonna have one summertime.
They
We are still gonna
don't
have
need it.
one, so we're good.
Yes.
We're good there.
Saying that she compromised a few things in her typical budget to make up with the seniors, giving them more. We got rid of a couple concerts, and that kind of balanced it out.
Did we touch 4th of July at all?
I don't believe so, we
No.
increased 4th of July.
Yes. 4th of July is gonna be as strong as ever.
Yeah, that's
great.
So they don't meet in July, they don't meet.
No, she's just talking about funding.
Or not?
I can't wait to come.
Or not?
I'm just
That's
asking a
great,
question.
or
Does seniors meet in July?
No, July and August, they do not meet.
I'll compromise being on the front of that newsletter for a float.
You can. We give out awards for the best flip,
Root beer.
That-
Root beer.
first, second, and
Root
third.
beer float.
Hold your sign at $25.
Recreation, we were able to invest in enhanced maintenance of our fields. I think there's been nothing but positive reinforcement about the work that we've done on our fields. We've enhanced our fields, the maintenance of them, the sprinkler systems. We have quality fields for the youth of our town. We're going to continue improving and maintaining that.
Jim, is there any thought that we'll ever get lights, so that our people can play at night?
We're looking into that. We're hoping that funding isn't going to be available through Green Acres on that. That's part of our plan. We even discussed that previously.
I mean, it's been talked about for, right, Mike, we talked about this for almost 8
More
years.
More for soccer than baseball, Skelly. The numbers are picking up in soccer. They're gonna be the stages of lights. The time of year soccer plays in the fall when it gets darker soon. Baseball, it just, the numbers aren't really, blowing up in baseball, which is a shame. So it's probably more feasible to go to something down at Green Acres with the lighting than the RY or softball. They just don't have, it'd be nice to have a game under the lights, but they're not stacking up games to where they need to play under the lights, either one.
Yeah, I know, I was at
but-
opening day.
Plus both of our softball and baseball are in residential areas. So it's not like, oh, we're putting lights up. They have to agree for us to put lights up, and probably a good chance that we're not gonna go over smooth, that, these people are
Yeah.
next to
I
it.
think we talked to
Get lights.
neighbors a long time ago, softball, about it, and there was a lot of pushback because of late night traffic.
Yeah, nobody
Trash.
really wants
Nobody
that.
Parking,
wants, yeah.
You know, and
But
people.
where soccer is with Green Acres, there's nobody back there,
Yeah.
so.
The lights aren't going to be specifically for the sports teams. For Green Acres properties, there's going to be trails, there's going to be.
Well, that would be additional
opportunities to have-
To light up Green Acres in general, too.
So we could be over
Yeah.
later at night.
Yeah.
But I think what you're asking about is, but some of the positive things that have happened is that the middle schools now using our fields
Yes.
for softball and baseball, so that's a positive. So maybe by partnering that with them, it keeps improving this. But we'll see, I mean, ebbs and flows,
Yeah.
things change constantly.
Hopefully numbers.
I mean, last year, the middle school team, the 8th grade boys team won their division, and it was their first year. So that was a great thing.
Well, they had great coaches
They had
too.
some good coaching, that's right. But we'll see, by us supporting it, I think it makes a difference.
Coaches don't do
Come on.
So the last thing, finally, on my list of the improvements that we're investing in is, some of the decisions that we're making to improve the efficiency. We recently changed our courts to day court. Day court not only improves the efficiency of the town, but it also maintains a cost level that's reasonable. It takes away overtime, the need for additional hours after work. So, and it's more efficient. People seem to be, they just seem to be more willing for the day court, the workers and the people who are attending the court. That's what I've seen so far in a couple of weeks that we've been here. The attorneys might be a little different, but. Yeah.
It's better than night?
Yeah, absolutely. So they get to go home with their kids and hang Well, no, I come to see you guys. So, you know, that's pretty much it. I'm very proud of this budget. I'm very proud of the fact that we are able to identify some of the things that the borough needs, and we were able to reallocate some things. And we're going to have a better reporting system of our budget and where things are spent, so we can develop trends, take an idea, a look at how we're spending money, where we're spending money, and making people accountable for what they're spending. That's an important part. Keeping them to the promises that we made during our meetings. And we did all of that by raising taxes less than the mandated 2% compliance with the state, and keeping our tax rate at an increase for the average household of less than $25. And it's going to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move to the solicitor's report.
Sure. Thank you.
Took more time than you.
You definitely
Yours
did.
was very important.
No,
Had
this is
the-
important. That's the reason why we talk forever.
We had the,
It's your time of year.
yes,
That's right.
it's your time of year. We had to hear it.
Thank you, everybody. This is actually my last meeting before Lenny returns for the caucus in May, but I'm sure I'll come back and visit. I'm not going anywhere, so just wanted to say I very much enjoyed working with each and every one of you and the staff and Mark and Harry and Jim. Thank you all very much for making the last few months as smooth as possible. Couple of things that are still loose ends that aren't really for public consumption, but suffice it to say progress.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you for helping us out. Yes.
Right on the ball.
Thank you, Dan.
Right on the ball.
Okay. Engineers report. I don't know if you can keep up with these guys.
No, I'm just going to report progress. I'm going to rely mostly on my written and oral report from last week's caucus. I'm going to try and dance around Craig's request. I don't know the schedule for the elevator. I'm waiting for an updated schedule. We have to go through a series of tests with both the state and our in-house inspections here. We have to test it under generator power. I'm not sure how long all that takes to coordinate. I was supposed to be getting an email today with an updated schedule, and I did not receive that. So as soon as I get an updated schedule, I will let.
Is this through the elevator contractor Otis? Do they set all that?
They have to coordinate that with the electrician and the general contractor and the state, and all that has to come
And
together.
how many people will this elevator hold?
As many as you can squeeze in.
4?
I don't know what the capacity is.
Yeah, it does.
It's a pound.
It goes by weight.
If me and John are in there, it's a lot less.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, wow. Hey.
Oh!
I thought you guys were cool.
It's public works.
H&J.
Public Works Day.
So it's not people, it's how much weight.
Yeah, listen, I'm right behind them, so.
Like, if you want to move equipment, like, and bring equipment up to the second floor, because eventually we hope to use those offices and move equipment.
Yes, all the filing, yes, the filing cabinets and files
You
can be
know,
brought up
is
there
it going to
very
handle that?
easily. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be at least 1,500
Old
pounds.
audience will be in some trouble.
I don't remember either, to tell you the truth.
I don't remember what the plan showed.
Yeah.
I wasn't responsible for.
I don't know if you'd like me to go upstairs and read the blueprints later if you come to me.
You know what, at one point in time, we did have the blueprints, but there's,
Upstairs.
We're good.
you know, yeah.
Progress.
Progress, thank you. And we do have in the bond, though, the mapping, that wasn't, which was very important, correct? One of the things that Jim was talking about is something that's been identified both by the engineer, our administrator, and our public works superintendent, is the fact that we do have this older infrastructure that is falling apart, like we talked about.
Yeah, I
You know, like our issue that we had on Bassett Avenue, the issues we had down on Payne, the issues we had down on Schisler Circle. I mean, we had a lot of these problems. And I think it's been identified to fund it. That's really the only thing that's going to get it done. If we don't fund these projects, they'll just never get done. Even if it's small bites at a time, and I think the number is $25,000 this coming year, is that correct?
For the study.
No, for in the actual budget to do any stormwater repairs, if there is any. I think it's $25,000, and I think the
How much
study.
is for the study?
Studies tens of thousands of dollars, but it actually entails lifting the manhole covers, lifting the stormwater inlets, going down there, measuring how,
I believe it's 75.
yeah, but it's a lot. You're talking about 27 miles of stormwater pipe and 27 miles of sewer pipe.
If I may add, slip lining stuff, and it works, isn't it?
The slip lining project was done for what our first phase. Now, if we intend to identify more property, the study will help us identify lines that are terracotta, that are collapsed.
Is this like a 10-year plan we should look at?
This is the entire country.
Well,
It's probably a 100-year plan.
I was gonna say, we're not alone. All
The entire US
position,
is a mess.
But this should be, we should finance, we should heavily look.
We did not get the supplemental funding. If you recall the CDBG grant that we got the first time,
Right.
we didn't get the supplemental funding. The reason we didn't get it is Woodland is one of the other oldest communities in the county. They got the majority. Did you read that? They got the majority of the supplemental funding because they had pipes that are collapsing. And did you guys read that? Did you see it was Woodland that got most of the money?
So,
What was that? Oh, you work for Woodland? So you knew about it? Yeah, and I've been in some of those meetings, and my philosophy, even at the time, was the county as a whole, once again, $30,000 doesn't do a lot for us. So to get a couple $100,000 to go help Woodland is fine, as long as they remember running.
See, here's the
In a
problem.
few years, we
Nobody
get a couple
sees
of
this. Nobody sees this stuff.
That's why it's our job.
It's hard
But we're the
It's
representative.
hard to sell because nobody sees it.
You know what, when you sell is when the roads on Oakland flooded, and those homes on Bowers in Oakland are flooding, that's when you start to. But you're right, it doesn't affect 10,000 people, it may only affect the 50 or 60 people on the road. But I think that's where, it's our job, I think it's incumbent on us to do
You
that.
gotta sell it.
Selling in the fact that, I think that the idea that we're investing in our community, I think we've been doing it for every year that we've been here. We've invested millions of dollars in these past few years, and it's the right thing to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's the next big thing. It's the
Yeah.
next big thing throughout the whole.
So was there anything else on, because you guys are gonna be busy this year. That's good. We have, sidewalks, curbing,
so
roads.
we cut their costs down.
That's good.
Their fees, we
That's
cut
right.
them out.
No coffee for you.
That's where we got all the
Tell
money.
Steve
Oh,
Tell
Steve,
Steve.
Steve will be at the next meeting if that's the case.
Mayor, I forgot Joyce, to thank Joyce. Appreciate everything.
Pleasure speaking with you.
She's so calm.
I'll see you on Facebook.
All right, then, we'll continue with the meeting then. All right, thank you, guys. Old business, so we have none. Public comment on meetings. Once again, this is an opportunity for anyone in the audience to come up and ask any questions about the items we will be voting on. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I so move.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
That public portion is closed. Under new business, we've already done the first two. So we have by law now changed something, Resolution 18-64, the governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records, employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We're required to do this prior to our budget, correct?
That's what the auditor says, yes.
Right? So does everyone understand this? This goes back to 1964. For some reason, we have to do this prior to,
Does this have to be done every year?
I understand now.
It may be. There's also,
I already told the negative.
We have to sign after we introduce tonight.
The same way you sign an affidavit for the
Yeah,
audit,
yeah.
you're gonna have to sign an
We all have to sign
affidavit
an
Of
affidavit.
compliance?
that you all understand regarding these EEOC guidelines.
Yeah, and EOC's been around a long time, and Equal Opportunity, we've had the posters up for it.
Right.
And we comply.
we comply.
I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Rude,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Robbins. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passione?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mr. O'Meara?
Yes.
And this resolution is adopted. So now we can do resolution 18-63, which is the introduction of the 2018 budget as outlined by our administrator, CFO. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Neri, second by Ms. Kelly. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Passione?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
6 ayes.
All right, so that resolution, so the public hearing will be held at the June 6th meeting. We'll have our public hearing and adoption. Sorry, you know,
You can go back.
okay? Might be in the audience? All right, then thank you. Resolution dash 1859 is a resolution authorizing a property maintenance lien. This is for the demolition of the property on Bassett Avenue, correct? Now, this includes our administrative fees or any other incurred fees, if I understand, or is that just the, it's 11,132 is the justifiable expense? So someone like to make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion.
I'll second that
Motion
motion.
by Mr. Root, second by Ms. Passione. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passione?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
6 ayes.
Right, this resolution is adopted. And just a clarification for our solicitor and clerk, this will not, the property owner will have 1 year to pay this, is that how this works? If they don't pay, it'll go for tax sale, or is it less than 1 year?
Per Mr. Woods, will vote in October.
It goes in October. That's why I wasn't sure. Is that,
Property
it's a
maintenance
mechanic,
liens.
property maintenance is different?
That's what Len's interpretation of how it would work.
So we get our money back faster.
I'll stand by my project
There we go. I like that.
What did you tell me once? Did you get 10
I-
lawyers in a room with 12 opinions?
Well, the reason I bring this up for everyone is obviously we want to get reimbursed our costs, and then, you know, I think that property will get consumed by one of the neighbors adjoining it. He's going to be interested in it.
We were there today.
We were there today, yes it does, it looks excellent. If anyone gets a chance, go down the back. Resolution 18, not too many at one time, it's 90 Street. Resolution 18-60 is a resolution confirming 2018 appointments. These are part-time seasonal laborers in the Public Works Department. Zach Giannoni, Ryan Garner, Daniel Bochers at $14.27 per hour, which is per our collective bargaining agreement, correct? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Ruth.
I'll second that motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mary Donna.
And,
Mary Donna.
okay, this is also, I apologize, on the planning and zoning board, we had it to fill Mr. Dickinson's unexpired term. So Mary Dodge will be an alternate member to fill that until the end of the year.
Good, I still make a motion.
Still make a motion?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Lobenstein. Motion by Mr. Root. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Passione?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
All right, 6 ayes, the resolution is adopted. There's just a request here for authorization to issue a used car license, lot license to ACP Auto Wholesalers LLC. This is just a $50 fee. This is just a motion, and all in favor, I'm assuming. Does someone make a motion to approve?
I'll make a
that?
motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Mr. Farrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 18-61 is a resolution authorizing a refund of a CO fee. This is the one where the person
They paid twice or something.
They didn't rent the,
okay, this is for logic. Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Passio,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Ranieri. Roll call, please.
Yeah.
but the $50, this is the $50 one, the refunding.
Oh, it's only the 50, I'm sorry, I moved too
Yeah, the
fast.
next one, the next one. This is just the CO.
This is $50.
$50, yes. Mrs. Passione?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted. Resolution 1862 is a resolution authorizing a refund of 2 payments to a mortgage service company. That's the CoreLogic one, I apologize. That's the $425 that was paid twice. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Fowler, second by Ms. Passio. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
6
Yes.
ayes. Oh, sorry. Resolution is adopted. All right, we have first reading, ordinance 18-07. This is an ordinance to amend chapter 153 fees of the Borough of Runnemede. This allows us to collect for the race that we are hoping to have. I have made a couple phone calls, but I need to get back with you guys to decide how we want to do it. We may want to simplify it. No, I think we can still do it. I just think we might simplify it.
This is the five.
This is the five.
Ron?
Yes.
All right, you're working on this.
All right.
Okay,
This is ordinance 18-07. Well, let me read it. It said, prior to race date, this is a $20 fee, and then a $25 fee for, and this will be for any event that we have a race, that we need to collect fees. And if we have to do additional events that we want to collect fees, we can add it to this ordinance.
Great.
that's good.
Okay? So, would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 29th day of May 2018.
Okay?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ranieri. Roll call, please.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Six ayes.
All right, ordinance 18-08. This is the bond ordinance. This is first reading of our bond ordinance authorizing the completions of various capital improvements and the acquisition of various capital equipment in and for the Borough of Runnemede, County of Camden, New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $1.7 million, therefore authorize issuance of general obligation bonds and anticipating using the aggregate principal amount of 1.6, because we learned that. So once again, this is almost a 2-year bond, for everyone to be clear. That fire engine will not come in until 2019.
Correct.
So we cannot certify funds unless we approve the funds now,
Yeah,
even though we won't be writing the check out for a year.
Right, as soon as it's adopted.
right.
Okay? Someone like to make?
Yes,
I'll make this.
no, I'd like to make the motion if you don't mind. Is that okay?
I'll second that
Motion
motion.
by Mr.
I'm going to make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 6th day of June 2018.
Okay, and then second by Ms. Kelly.
Yep.
And just to clarify, just so everyone in the audience knows what we're doing, reconstruction of roads, $325,000. Public works, vehicles, some dumpsters, so we won't be renting dumpsters anymore, some loader attachments, a utility truck, the fire truck that we mentioned. In the police department, this is the 2 all-wheel drive police vehicles with all the equipment. No surprises, all the equipment is included there. Improvement to the various municipal buildings, which includes potential Borough Hall improvements that we need to do in the Scout building, which we talked about, working with them. Acquisition of equipment in the fire department, turnout gear that they specifically need in this upcoming year. If they're not, we got a grant previous years. We never know if we're going to get it.
Freddie's working on it.
Hopefully we'll get it, and if not, we have to buy the equipment. $35,000 worth of various recreational equipment, which includes what we talked about, scoreboards, potential fencing and stuff like that, and park equipment. Construction of sidewalks and curbs for $80,000. This is some of the work we talked about on in front of Deluxe Bakery, some of the missing sidewalks on Davis, and some of the missing sidewalks around the schools. And then the acquisition of the sewer lift station. We're going to be rebuilding a portion of the Forest Avenue sewer pump station. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So this is going to take some time to do all this work. Let's be clear. It's not going to happen overnight.
I want it now.
Yes, I know, Ellen. I know you want
I
it.
might not be around to see it.
Oh, you should. Okay, so, yeah, you know the deal. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please. Ms.
Mrs.
Pinto.
Keller?
Ms. Pinto.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And I don't know why you're here, but you shouldn't be. Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Yes, 6 ayes. Okay, I want to thank everybody who came to the building. This was a lot tonight. Everyone knows how much we just accomplished. We passed a budget of over $8 million. We planned all this improvements for the next basically 2 years. Not to say that we can't do something next year. Of course, there's ability to continue to move forward. We're going to get more grants.
Funding is for two.
Funding is here, but we still intend to get more DOT funding, more community block grant funding, more open space
Hopefully
funding.
the FEMA.
Missing one.
Oh, you have to wait.
Oh, I skipped. Oh, I started pontificating without
Too excited about our bond.
reading.
The last thing, come on.
Oh, police.
Oh,
Police.
oh, yeah.
All right, so, there we go. In ordinance 18-09.
You know, Dan worked on this.
This This is the one, I'm sorry. It's an ordinance authorizing amendment to the Borough of Runnemede's Police Department rules and regulations. This clarifies light duty a little bit better. This is requested by the chief of police and his leadership to do this. So would someone like to make a motion?
I would like to make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 6th day of June 2018.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, is there a second?
I'll make a second.
Second by Ms. Passio, roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passier.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Okay, so now, we go to payment of bills. Just to clarify, one thing that the treasurer asked, Mr. Dioria, the council seems to, finance committee, the council will appreciate this. In an effort to reduce paper, we're going to just have a summary. First, was the first
Which
one?
one did you like, condensed or super condensed?
Condensed.
Condensed. The condensed version would just actually outline all the bills, and so it'd be much easier than going through. I don't believe we need to look at all the ledger accounts. Did you see this, that Mr. Anderson?
Okay.
Mr. Anderson gave us a summary sheet, which is a lot easier, so you see, Atlas Flash, you see all the different vendors very cleanly with their amounts as opposed to all these general ledger accounts.
So it goes from like 50 to 60 pages down to like,
How many pages were
Goes
there?
down to like,
Sustainability, we
Like
are.
This is down to 4 pages.
but it used to be a stack.
Great.
Wait, that report you just got was 60 pages?
no, he's making fun.
No.
But to get rid
I think
of,
it's very literal.
To pay the bills, it used to be.
instead of having all the general ledger accounts, we'll just see a summary.
Like this?
Yeah, basically, yes.
Here it is, this is it.
Yeah.
You like that one?
That's fine.
I tried for super condensed, but they weren't going for.
Condensed, but at least says what we purchased.
Yes.
Baby
So we
steps,
know-
baby steps.
So we know what's going, yeah.
Well, before when we did it once a month, it was a stack like that.
Before I do the payment of bills, your request for the vendor is in this? Is it in that? For our vendor for the elevator that's in this bill list? I didn't get a chance to look. I don't know.
I don't believe so.
Is that something you needed? Did you request a payment for the vendor?
For Otis? Or
For Otis?
Payment number 2, last week.
Yeah. we did do-
You did last time?
No, I don't.
I think we did it last time.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. I do remember seeing that request. I don't remember what day it was.
We did it last time.
You guys last time, Bob, do you have that from last month? Well, if we can put in payment of bills, make sure I get all the bills. So would someone like to make a motion to pay all the monthly bills and any contractual obligations?
I'll second that motion.
Make a motion for payment.
I'll second that motion.
So motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Kelly. Jim, what we're saying is we're approving any payment of bills and any contractual obligations. Okay, is there a motion and second? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Passier.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
All right, 6 ayes, the payment of bills shall happen. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. This is good and welfare. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. No one? Saying no one? Would someone like to make a motion to close the public motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that
Motion
motion.
by Ms. Kelly, second by Ms. Patsio. All in favor? Okay, is there anything else? Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.